Hi, my name's Deb Wenninger. My wife, Tricia Kearns, and I officially joined FCCGE just a few weeks ago. We live in Naperville with our 3 dogs, Jack, Charlie, and George. Currently, Tricia is in a grading frenzy as she finishes up a semester of teaching at Governor State University. I'm home full-time now as I'm furloughed from my job. My reality is really quite ordinary during this time, and for me, that makes this time extraordinary. Like many, I live a bit of a Groundhog Day kind of existence, every day similar to another day. I'm more interested in the weather report than I am in my calendar, and simple things that we took for granted are now exciting. I ride in the car to go pick up groceries at Mariano's, just for the ride, and we anticipate a delivery from Costco, and both of us watch for it and yell out, "It's here!" when it finally comes. We sort through to see what we actually received versus what they were out of. I feed my sourdough starter every day. I have plenty of time to weed and plant and transplant. I sit and just space out sometimes, listening to the birds and the wind. It's ordinary, and yet the slowness of now is profound. I am deeply aware that to say that I experienced this time as a COVID-19 sabbatical is to declare to the world my privilege. I am not anxious for my next meal. I'm not worried about my health. I enjoy my spouse. Sleep is my superpower. I feel hopeful for the future. I'm confident that if I jog, I'm more likely to sprain my ankle than be shot by vigilantes. I don't have online tasks to complete while trying to be sure my children are learning, or at least not hurting themselves. I realize that I'm privileged. And the truth is that this time is a rest I deeply needed from the see more, do more, make more kind of environment of 2 months ago. Perhaps the most profound lesson for me in this moment is simply to be in this moment. My typical life and career require much doing and emphasize far too little what it means to be. I am challenged to avoid defining myself and my worth in doing and just be. In accepting myself and just being myself, I can turn to others and empathize and see what we have in common rather than what we don't, rather than competing. Here's what being has looked like of late. We have neighbors who bring us joy often. We anticipate short video clips from them, typically of their daughter Lucy, age 2. At Easter time, we watched as her grandpa arrived in a full-on bunny suit. The Easter bunny visited Lucy in their backyard in a socially distanced fashion. Lucy was about as impressed with the Easter bunny as she was with Santa and Mrs. Claus, which is to say, not at all impressed. I'm not sure if she cried, but she sure wasn't happy. And I understood her relief that the 6'2" bunny was not allowed to hold her. Lucy had some routines in our backyard that predate the current pandemic. See, she is fast friends with her Auntie Tricia, and she's been known to throw her body sideways out of her pink car to come over and see Auntie Tricia. Together they used to perform garden walks, and they would touch certain stones and visit various metal sunshine spinners. Lucy named 3 of them: Baby Sunshine, Mommy Sunshine, and Daddy Sunshine. We put out a stone deer. It's a garden ornament, and she visits and talks to Bambi, as well as to the stone dog that she's named Tasha. She likes to admire the pink phlox that are blooming on our back patio. After all, that's her favorite color. Lucy began to birdwatch a few weeks back with a pair of binoculars her mom made for her. And recently, she upgraded to a higher-end set in her favorite color. Her dad recently installed a play set in her backyard. Watching the build progress was better than any soap opera. On Tuesday last week, a distraught text from Gina alerted us to the reason for the plumbing truck in their drive. They had a bad odor that they thought was a sewage backup. The plumber sniffed once and declared, "Nope, that's not sewage, that's dead varmint of some kind." At which point, Kyle commenced a search for the dead thing. He punched holes in the drywall and shone light in small spaces. That night was the worst. When the heat kicked on, the smell was sent from the basement through the whole house, and the choice was to hunker down in the cold or tolerate this horrible smell. Remember, they have a 2-year-old. On Wednesday, Lucy spent a lot of time on her new playset. Her mom was extra motivated to spend time outside. Kyle continued to search and took boards off the deck to look beneath, and early in the afternoon we got a text from Gina. He found it. Looks like a possum. She also informed us that the rate of decay for a possum would have taken 3 months to clear that smell. We watched as Kyle valiantly extracted the carcass from the deep hole that was under the deck. Somehow he managed to avoid throwing up, despite all the gagging. We got another text from Gina, saying that she'd never found her husband so attractive as at that particular moment. To celebrate, Tricia found and printed the Possum Society of North America badge, and we set off to pick up a case of beer for Kyle. We labeled the case with badges and did a porch drop. A few weeks back, we gave up when the robins decided to build their nest on our sconce by the front door. We caved and stopped turning on the light at night, and we snuck out and installed a blink camera directly above the nest to be able to have a personal robin cam. So far, there are 4 eggs. Of course, we gave Lucy our passcode so she can watch the robin cam. Our next task will be to install yellow caution tape across the walkway, as coming near the front door results in being dive bombed by Mr. and Mrs. Robin. We have to label the end of the porch as our new delivery zone. Life isn't anxiety-free. My job isn't guaranteed to resume. We have the dilemma of managing Tricia's mom, who has advanced dementia and lives in her home with our help via an Alexa device, as well as with the help of a neighbor who acts as a caregiver. My folks are 88 and 82, and we miss seeing them and are finding ways of staying in touch and creating connection. Shopping's stressful. Friends have different ideas about safety. We have friends who believe conspiracy theories. But for the moment, I'll be on the patio in the slow river of ordinary. Isn't that extraordinary?